he was too busy.
Part of the PPG Fiat Ritmo Challenge, and on pole position Alan Johnston, a very experienced campaigner indeed, number 21 in the Irish fencing car. Alongside him, number 28, Michael Conway, another experienced Ritmo driver in the Ashmore Rider sponsored car. This is really the bargain basement now of saloon car racing. Great fun indeed. On the second row we've Alan Byrne, number 48. There you can see him now in the Anglo-Irish Bank car. And then alongside him, Enda Cassidy, number 2 on the outside of the second row. Moving back, Marty Fagan, a great character in this form of racing. Number 5, alongside him, Val Thompson, who used to race in the Peugeot class, now is in the cheaper Fiat Ritmo class. Again, back another row, and in the DID car we have Mark Turley, number 16. We're about to go. It's 10 laps. It's got to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be very exciting down at Coca-Cola Bend as these little front-wheel drive cars scrabble for grip on a drying track. And it looks like Michael Conway's got the nose slightly ahead, but it's going to be hard to get around the outside of Alan Johnston, who takes the lead. Are they going to all stay on? That's the big question as they go round this long hairpin.
Yes, on the wall, you can see Fagan in the background there, bumping and boring his way, just being punched down one. But somebody out there, number 84.
That's Hilary Brady in her second year of this racing. His second year, I should say. Hilary Brady there off onto the grass.
Alan Byrne up into third place there, so it's Johnson from Conway. Little spots of rain on the warm-up lap. These are the lads who qualified from that previous clips we showed you of the race earlier on today. But look at the dice at the moment. Johnson, who felt that he could actually break the lap record, get into the 12s if the weather conditions were right, but a little slippy out there. But you can see he'll have his work cut out. And again, somebody nudging in there. Byrne getting a wee nudge there. You remember, if you were watching last year, that Alan Byrne had a multiple role. So there we have it. Michael Conway in second place, Alan Byrne in third place, and Enda Cassidy there really pushing his way. Fagan, someone getting very late on the brakes onto the grass. We've lost one there in the top corner, but at the moment Alan Johnston just pulling out that little lead, the little cushion he needs, and in the background what's known as Vietnam, everybody looking for spots. The green and orange car on the outside there, that's Alan Byrne looking for that second place, and it's a long way around the outside. Fagan half spinning there. You can see that it's still very slippy. Track hasn't completely dried, but how many of these Ritmos are there left in Ireland, Alan?
And there went somebody right off on the grass, but no doubt about it, Alan Johnston has got a nice little advantage here. This is the battle, this is the fun. Number 48 there, Alan Byrne, trying to fend off the considerable attentions of the two cars behind him. Looking very aggressive there. Enda Cassidy, the fourth of those cars. He's had a couple of goes at trying to get past there, unsuccessfully so far, but now Byrne closing in on the leader. This is going to be interesting.
Yes, Alan Byrne, who is really trying to pull it all in, because he's lying in second place in the championship, 2 points behind the leader there, Alan Johnston. Well, Alan, very, very good. You can see the damp on the left-hand side of the track there, with the dry line up the right-hand side. But Byrne at the moment hauling in Johnson, and this will be a battle right down to the wire, using all the road out on the curves. Conway in third place, just getting a little touch there from Enda Cassidy. Enda Cassidy looking at that inside line for the next corner, Coca-Cola. Byrne at the moment will be able to dictate the position. He tried to dummy down the inside of Johnson and then pull out, locking a wheel there, but Johnson not being intimidated, and Conway through. Cassidy still there in fourth place, and there's Marty Fagan there sitting on in fifth. He's just going to have to turn the wick up a little bit, Marty, and get back into this dice.
And PPG, the sponsors of this championship, interestingly enough, because this is really the bargain basements, as we said, in saloons. One end of club racing, at the very other end of the sponsorship scale, they also sponsor the Indy cars over there in America. So very much involved in motorsport at two ends of the scale. But look at this great dice here. For second place, Enda Cassidy really trying everything he knows to try and get past. And a similar situation up front between Alan Byrne in second place and Alan Johnston, number 21, who leads. Just
Johnson, yes, in the Irish fencing car. Now have a look and see that, the Ashmore Rider car. Ashmore Rider in the panel beating business. Let's hope Michael Conway doesn't need him on Monday morning. But this is Alan Johnston as he just makes his way up the hill with Byrne in the green and orange car. This is the battle for third place. Michael Conway, Cassidy just taking that tight line again, looking for the inside, and I think he's got it this time, side by side. Let's see who has the power. He's alongside him. If he can hold this down into Coca-Cola hairpin, which it looks as if he will have moved up a place. That is the manoeuvre you've got to do. If you're going to pass at Coca-Cola, you've got to set it up on the previous hairpin as they come out of Dunlop, and he does. Doesn't let understeer too much, lets it go out, but Conway looking at remember the next one is a left-hander, so he is in the best spot for that. Conway bumped back into 4th place, so it's Cassidy now up into 3rd. But while these two are dicing away, they're actually slowing each other down, and it gives a chance for Alan Byrne and young Johnson, not so young Johnson I should say, to get out. Just clipping the curb there, Cassidy, launching the car, and you can see that the gap between 2nd and 3rd is just beginning to widen out there, but a battle up front. Byrne not giving up at the moment. Remember, 2 points between them in the championship. 124 to Alan Johnston, 122 in the Anglo-Irish Bank Cork car. He won't want to give up. He'll want to win this one, Alan. Losing out slightly there in the second part of the S's, Alan.
Absolutely. It's you can't afford the slightest mistake in these cars. They're so even, and it really is very hard to make background. But it's interesting now with number 2 and Cassidy up into 3rd place. He really psychologically had to get the finger out and get the foot down and really pull away immediately once you make that passing maneuver. So there we are. Still pressure on Alan Johnston. Alan Johnston came from karting. He's been racing for years. Very experienced competitor. Loves his motorsport. Loves the crack. And really has done probably as many laps as Mondello as anybody out this weekend. There he is, the Irish fencing car, heading out now, down the back of the country, out towards the double apex corner. 3rd place now, a little bit more spread out. And Cassidy still in 3rd place. In 4th place, Alan Byrne. And here the whole Fiat Ritmo field streaming through our picture.
Yes, and there is the battles as they go further down the grid there. Number 16, Mark Turley, who should really be up front there. A very quick pilot indeed with the DID sponsorship. He at the moment is chasing Marty Fagan as they come out of that double apex out in the field. There's our 3rd place man beginning to pull away now from Mike Kerner. Marty Fagan beginning to make inroads there in the blue and the black car, but Byrne, all the Allens. I have an Alan Tyndall sitting beside me. I have an Alan Johnston leading race and an Alan Byrne in 3rd place. So all 3 Allens at the moment on their toes. Byrne not giving up, but the wily old Alan Johnston out front. You see that he's using all the road. The dry line is on the right. He's pulling out there. He doesn't want Byrne to get onto his bumper to get a tow. Back across the road onto that dry line. Down out of 3rd into 2nd, turning in nice and tight. Just touches the apex of the corner there. Not too much wheel spin. If you give it too much throttle, you're just going to spin your wheels there. Into the left-hander here. Very tricky indeed. You can see the hands really working through there. And this is where Johnson, there's their 3rd place man in the Cassidy in 3rd, and Conway in 4th place. And Conway getting under pressure there from Marty Fagan. Marty, one of the characters of motor racing. This is a battle here for 6th and 7th now.
Val Thompson in the 2nd of those cars. Val Thompson, again, a very experienced solid car man. There he is, putting pressure on 16 Thurley, but Thurley will be well able to handle that, I would imagine. He's done a lot of miles as well. So, the little Fiat Ritmo, and really wonderful to see Fiat so enthusiastically backing motorsport in this country, not only in this class, but also in the Fiat Unos. And really, the Fiat cars making up a very large proportion of the grids now here in Ireland. So there's our leader, 21. He's coming down. It's over half distance now. He's coming down to complete his 6th lap now, this 10-lap race. Alan Johnston then, and once again, look at Alan Byrne on the outside there. Trying everything he knows, trying to cheat the wind, trying to cheat the brakes, and desperately late on the brakes that time as he came down into Coca-Cola hairpin. And you can see the little front-wheel drive getting understeer. In other words, the nose is being pushed out a little bit as they scramble for grip. Great dice there going round the outside. Val Thompson challenging. There must be paint swapping there.
Yes, indeed. Val Thompson, local Nace man, brother of Peter Thompson, who had the famous sports car they built. He's sponsored actually by one of the local companies here in Nace, the Nace Cellular Centre for phones. And he's moved up a place here. Enjoys his motor racing, but Turley not one to give up. A little bit of paint swap there, back door, slight bit of a change again over the curbs. Turley there, but a super manoeuvre there from Val Thompson. Now he's got to get the head down and just get away from Turley and possibly move up yet another place.
And paint swapping not such a problem in this class because the sponsor is a paint company, so I don't think they have to pay too much for their paint, just putting it on. So there we are, number 9, Val Thompson. And fighting on right, we saw Thurley over the curbs there. And he's coming under a considerable challenge now with 3 laps to go. So Thurley could be demoted another place. Meanwhile, we go back with the leader, Alan Johnston, and look at that ever-present green car right behind him, right beside him this time, as Alan Byrne again tries another line, and he's trying to force his way up to get in on the left-hander. There ain't room, though.
No, just the width of the back bumper, but obviously just got in right on the brakes. Had Johnson over to the right-hand side of the road, he's slightly slower. Not a lot of grip coming out of that hairpin, but Byrne in the best position so far. Really got the wick turned up, coming in here, down in second place. Uses that wide outside line, hopes to get up alongside him. It's a quicker exit, but Johnson had to keep that inside door closed because you'll never know when Byrne will appear. Again, got the faster exit out of the bottom bend and really going in. Johnson again, very tight on the inside, giving Byrne that quick outside line. So there we go. Just changing gear just about now as they get through the second part of the S's and up the hill. Dry line on the right. He's going to hold on to that. He's up on his tippy toes here. You can see Johnson. There's about 10 stone of the difference between weight between Alan Johnston and Alan Byrne. You can see the size of Alan Byrne in the back, and he says it helps. That little bit of weight helps to keep the car on the ground, but Johnson not intimidated, just has a quick lap at his lap scorer there. He's 2 laps to go, starting his second last lap again down in the hair. You can see Byrne really using that little bit of outside to get, again, really working the wheel there. A little bit of a spin, and that's giving Byrne an advantage.
Well, he has that advantage, but he has a problem because with this track partially wet, if you really look closely at the track, you'll see there is a definite dry line. It's widening all the time, but that means that Byrne doesn't have the full width of the track for braking. He can't come offline and go onto a damp patch and brake. So he really doesn't have that as many options as you would normally have. But by goodness, he's trying. So Alan Byrne, then number 48, really keeping the pressure on number 21, Alan Johnston, with just about a lap and a half to go now. So it's going to be a fabulous finish to this one as these two fight it out. Surely there'll be tears before the end.
As Alan said, when you watch up the hill, on the left there's the wet line. Now if Johnson keeps that just tight, dry line, unfortunately Byrne can do nothing about it because coming in that late on the brakes is not going to do anything. Again, coming down into the next hairpin, plenty of dry line, but the exit is damp, so he's caught out by the weather. But he'll be working something to try and get him at the top corner because he's gone his last lap. He's got 4 corners to do it. Johnson using slightly the centre of the road this time, letting him down the outside, but will just lift off slightly here, keep his advantage, lots of wheel spin. Remember, the next one is a left-hander, and he's done it. He's actually got Byrne off the throttle there, and he pulls 2 car lengths.
And really, he's not going to have this option in Dunlop corner, the last corner of the circuit, so he's really got to do something about it in the next 2 or 3 turns. It's not close enough at the moment. Down in the double apex Budweiser corner there, he's really lost out a bit of ground, and this is the moment that Alan Johnston is using all his experience. So Byrne, just behind him, he won one of the big races at Phoenix Park about a month ago. He's going to have a really hard job, and he's really trying desperately late on the brakes that time, locking up the front wheels. 1 corner to go now as they come up the hill, and it looks very much like Alan Johnston.
Yes, lost out that advantage coming out just late on the brakes, but at this stage he's got to do something, but he isn't close enough at the moment. Coming again as late as he possibly could on the brakes. Johnson just holding on, letting the car run out. There's what, 10 feet between them. Johnson looking in the mirror, heading over to the right-hand side of the road, and there he gets the checkered flag. So it's Johnson from Alan Byrne, and in 3rd place, we're watching for the 3rd place man at the moment, and that is Enda Cassidy. Held that 3rd place. We've lost one there, and then it's Marty Fagan, with no doubt about our winner, Alan Johnston there, the Irish fencing car, followed by Alan Byrne.